everyone, it's Lauren Kinghorn here, and today I'm discussing success. And what I've done is I've taken 21 quotes by amazingly successful people and how they became successful. And let's see what they have to say. So let's go on to John D Rockefeller. We all know what a successful man he was. And he said something very profound. He said, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." Now, I found that as a mom entrepreneur or a stay-at-home mom who was very, very fortunate to be given a couple of years to just be a mom and be with my child, I had the good life. It was amazing. I used to go out for these wonderful teas with all the other mummies, and we would be doing fun stuff all the time. I'd take my son to the aquarium and I'd take him to Top Tots and Clamber Club and all these fun things. I had an amazing, amazing life. But I also knew that there was more to me than being a mom. I'm not saying that being a mom is not enough by any means, but I had other drives in me that I wanted to live out, other dreams and desires that I wanted to make reality. And so I stepped out of that comfort zone when my son started going to school, and I started I still do all those things in the afternoons, but I started doing things for myself in the mornings. And what I started doing was building myself a business as a digital entrepreneur. I've reinvented myself a few times in my business, and I'm sure I'll reinvent myself many times more. But what I want to say is I had a good life. I'm going for a great life. I want to also provide for my family as well as my husband does. I want to also be able to spoil my son or my husband or my mom or my friends, and be able to create things that I know that I have created and give to people of my gifts. So I guess that's what he meant, for me anyway. The next statement is by Albert Einstein, another absolute great man who we all know how much he invented and how much he did for the world with his knowledge. And he said something just as profound. He said, "Try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value," because success is not the ultimate goal. That's not really what you're going for. You are wanting to give of yourself, give of your gifts, offer value, deliver value. And when you do that, success will come to you. Another wonderful one is stop chasing the money and start chasing the passion. This was by Hsieh. Very often, once we get started with a business, it can become all about the money. But if you are really living out your passion and your dreams and desires, it's not about the money. The money will come to you. Look at this little girl who's got her camera out. That is passion. Imagine if that was you when you were a little girl and that was your passion, and that passion carried on throughout your life and you became this incredible photographer. That is where we have to go. Go to that place in you that you've always had, where you had this dream, you had this yearning to create something amazing, and see what comes of that. Bill Gates, wow, we all know him too. He says patience is a key element of success, and isn't it just? If you cannot be patient and keep putting in the work, but keep being patient to see your dreams come to fruition, then you're not going to see them come to fruition. You have to keep putting in the time. And of course, if you're living your passion, it's a lot easier. If you're just doing stuff to do stuff or to make money out of it, you're going to find that patience is a lot harder to find. I love this quote by Steve Jobs. Those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world usually do. So if you can just be a little bit crazy, find that crazy inside you, that thing inside you that wants to do something that maybe nobody's ever done before, or that's something that wants to do something in a different way to anybody's ever done it before. That little part of you, that unique part of you, that different part of you that has a different take on life. Find that and get crazy and give it a shot. Winston Churchill said, success is walking from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. So, doesn't that girl look enthusiastic? If you can have that kind of enthusiasm about your day, about every failure that you have got a wonderful secret of success. Thomas J. Watson said, would you like me to give you a formula for success? It's quite simple, really. Double your rate of failure. Those who have become successful have known that making mistakes and failing forward is not a problem. In fact, it's the solution to the problem. If you're not going to make mistakes, if you're not going to fail, if you're too scared to fail, you will not find success, because success is the result of failure after failure after failure. Just keep going. Robert Kiyosaki is a big fan of that belief as well. And here's another way that he said it. Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. So yes, we're going to lose, we're going to fail, we're going to make mistakes. But if we are so fearful of doing that, we're never going to get to that finish line and actually win. Walt Disney said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Action is how you become successful. Plans with no action equals no success. You absolutely have to get going. Just do it. Henry David Thoreau said, success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. It's the people who are working. It's the people who have their nose to the grindstone. It's, putting in that time, putting in those hours, putting in the effort, doing the training, applying the training. Those are the people who get ahead. You can't expect it to just fall in your lap. The only way to be successful, and if it did just fall in your lap, by the way, there would be no fun in the success. It wouldn't be success. It would just be something in your lap. It would just be a gift you got. Gifts are there to be used. Your gifts are there to be used. And as you use them, you will become successful. Dr. Henry Link said, we generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Haven't you seen those people who just sit there and they're thinking and they're thinking? The more time you have to think, the worse thoughts seem to come up for most people, unless you are one of those amazing people mystics, who can sit on a mountain and meditate and actually generate world peace. For the most of us, when we sit and do nothing, our minds start to work overtime and we start to get worried and stressed. It's while we're in action that all those fears can go away, because we know we're doing something about any of our worries and stresses. Jim Rohn said, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So it's all about how much you want it, isn't it? You're going to be successful when you're committed to your dream, when you're absolutely committed, when you have found a path and you want to walk down that path. I love this picture of this compass. Let's go forward. There's a Japanese proverb that says, fall 7 times and stand up 8. How long would you give your child to learn how to walk? If you saw them falling down day in and day out, would you say, oh, stop trying to learn how to walk? Absolutely not. You're always going to help them up and let them keep going. In fact, they're going to get themselves up, because their need to learn how to walk, their desperation to become a walking being is so, so important. They always stand up. They always try again. And that is how we need to be. Just if you fall, just keep standing up. Herbert Bayard Swope said, I cannot give you the formula for success, but I can give you the formula for failure. It is try to please everybody. Now, as mums, it's like we are juggling all these balls in the air, isn't it? We're juggling and we're juggling and we're juggling. We've got tons of balls in the air. It's not just 3 balls. It is the family, your immediate family, your children, your husband, but then there's also your parents that you're looking after, maybe your siblings, maybe your friends. You are running around, running yourself ragged. You're helping at the school, and you're helping at the school meets, and you're, what else? And you've got your own business going, and you're trying to keep that in the air as well. There are just so many balls in the air when you're a mom, and and you really want to make sure that everybody gets what they deserve. But what about you? What about self-care? What about giving yourself some time to look after your nutrition and your health and your well-being and your exercise routine? You know, all of those things are important too. So try to please yourself first. I know that sounds terribly wrong. When you're a mom, you can't possibly please yourself first. You've got to please your children and your husband and your everybody else. But hey, stop that. Start with you. You cannot, how does it go? Serve from an empty cup or something, whatever it is. I can't remember the exact saying, but if you're trying to please everybody all the time, you actually end up pleasing nobody. Thomas Edison said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." And I've got another quote from Thomas Edison. "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." See, that's the thing that happens. You're working, and sometimes, especially as a digital entrepreneur, you can be putting in a lot of effort for a very long time, and it doesn't seem to be producing results. You might be making a little bit of money here and there. You have a good month, and then the next month, woo, the stats are right down again, and you're not really sure what you're doing at first, and then you just keep going. If you just keep going and never give up, you will reach success. You will have that light bulb that actually goes off like Thomas Edison did. He didn't fail 1,000 times. He just kept inventing until he got a light bulb that worked. Let's hope our light bulbs all work, and the only way they will is if we never give up. John D Rockefeller, another quote from him. Sorry, I've given a lot of double quotes from people, but they're just so awesome. I can't help myself. This was John D Rockefeller Jr., so perhaps it was a different character anyway. He said the secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. So what is it that you know how to do, but you can do better than anyone else? Just think about it. If there's anything that you know how to do better than anyone else, that could be your success track. Or you could try this route. Aristotle the Nassus said the secret to success is to know something nobody else knows. Is there something you know, something you have worked out, figured out, something you've invented maybe that nobody else knows or nobody else has? Then that could be your path to success. Oprah Winfrey said, "You know you're on the road to success if you would do your job and not be paid for it." That's what entrepreneurs do all the time. When you're starting a business, when you're building something, when you're creating something, there's a heap of work that goes into it before you actually start breaking even and making profit. And entrepreneurs make way more money than anyone else because they're willing to put in that effort. They're willing to not be paid at the beginning, whether it takes a year or 2 or 3. They are willing to take no pay so that they can realize a much bigger dream. Anthony Robbins said there's a powerful driving force inside every human being that, once unleashed, can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. This little boy's dream or desire is to be a pilot. He wants to fly. And if you have something that, think back again. Let's go back to what it is that you really, really wanted to do when you were a child or when you were a teenager or when you were in your 20s. What was that one thing that you were so passionate about that when you spoke about to everybody, you just knew it was that thing that you were going to just be and do and create? Just hold on to that and work out how to pull that into your life right now and move you forward. Here's this little guy. He is about to go flying. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney's wonderful quote. Let's start dreaming, people. Dream of the success you want, and then roll up your sleeves, do the work, take daily action towards your dream, and you can have absolutely anything you desire. Wishing you all the best as you move forward with your dreams and become truly, truly successful. And remember, the only way to be successful is to give value. Bye for now. Oh, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot. Bye.